Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of September 11th, 2019. Yes, it is September 11th. It has been 18 years since the attack in New York and DC and the plane crash in Pennsylvania. I want to take a moment to just have a moment of silence for the victims and all that stuff. So. And yeah, so I know it's out of the ordinary to do that, but it is a significant day, and I do remember it vividly. So yeah, well, let's get to it because we're here for a pull list. First up, we have Batman 608, the first issue of Hush for $1. DC's releasing these dollar comics, and so they've done Hush now. The first issue of Hush you can pick up for $1. This is a cover change at the last minute. It was supposed to be like a split cover with Harley on one side and other stuff on the other. It was really a good Jim Lee cover, but they scrapped it and gave us this. This is also the new cover for the new trade dress for Hush, which is also out today. Horrible cover. Don't know why they changed it. DC has a tendency of changing things last minute that people are like, why did you do that? And that's one of the cases. Next up, we have Batman number 78, the fallout from 77. Hopefully will kind of be redeemed here, but we will see. Clayman's been tweeting out a lot of amazing artwork from this issue, so I'm super stoked to read it. But I did pick up 2 copies of it, and the reason why is I'll put them together. But if you can see, this one is lighter than this one. The printing was darker on this one than it was on this one. So I think it was the darker one that had less. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's something just off the printing press, but I just decided to grab 2 because I was like, I like the difference in knowing that there was a production difference in the books. That, and I'm just a weirdo. Next up, we have Batman and the Outsiders number 5. Batman and the Outsiders going up against Ra's al Ghul, the Demon. So we'll see how they fare in this issue. I've enjoyed Brian Hill's Batman and the Outsiders so far, so I'm curious to see what happens with it going forward. We're not done with the Batman books this week. Next up, we have Batman Universe number 3 from Brian Michael Bendis. This is the stuff that came out of the Walmart 100-page Giants that came out last year. So I've been really curious to read this. I've enjoyed issue 1 and 2, so I'm super stoked to get to issue 3. But we will see what Bendis has in store for us in that issue. Next up, we have Catwoman number 15. Joelle Jones does not do any writing on this one, but she does do the cover, and it's an awesome cover. Love that stuff. Really great. Catwoman has 2 amazing covers, and I'll get to the other one in a bit. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 1011. Tomasi's done a fantastic job on Detective since before 1000 and after 1000. Just really great stuff. Tomasi is like the unsung talent at DC. He writes a lot of stuff kind of that's attached to other things or like backs up other stuff, and it's really great stuff. You need to look at his portfolio. It's super good. Next up, we have Event Leviathan by Brian Michael Bendis. So hopefully we'll see what happens with Event Leviathan and how it unfolds. I'm really curious. Event Leviathan's been super good. Action's been super good. And yeah, just really solid stuff. Lois Lane is actually really good as well, so you should also check that out. Next up is Flash number 78. Out of year 1, we're just hitting the ground running with his Year of the Villain stuff. The Rogues have taken Lex's offer and become like more amped up and all that stuff. So I'm curious to see how Barry handles it. But yeah, really good stuff from Joshua Williamson on Flash, and I do highly recommend it. Next up, we have a new one from DC, and that's Gotham City Monsters, number 1, by Steve Orlando. I'm really curious about this. It doesn't seem to be something that a lot of people are going to get, but I'm hoping that it's really good, and it's something that I can tell people, hey, you should really check this out. But yeah, really curious to see how well this does. It's a 6-issue mini. It's got Frankenstein in it. It's got Killer Croc. Who else is on this team? Clarion's on this team. I don't know who she is. Killer Shark's on, that's not Killer Shark. That's oh god, why am I blanking on the name? Black Orca, or the black one. Yeah, cool stuff. So check it out if you're curious. Next up is Hawkman number 16 from Robert Venditti. it's been super great. Vendetti's Hawkman is just amazing. If you have not yet checked it out, the first trade is out. Go pick that thing up. It is fantastic. Next up, we have Isola number 9. I have no idea what's going on in this book, but I love it. It's great stuff. I think Isola is probably better in a collected read versus single issue to single issue. But I don't know. Let me know if you're reading Isola, and if you're reading a trade, let me know if you find that out or find that's a lot better. But I feel I don't get a lot out of an issue, and then we're moving on to something else, and it feels it's good. The art's amazing on it, but I'm not sure how I feel about the story just yet. Next up, we have Justice League Odyssey number 13. This is probably the weakest one out of the Justice League books that have come out with Dark and the regular Scott Snyder, James Tyrion the Fourth Justice League book. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. I don't foresee it being continuing for very long, but we'll see. Next up, we have Livewire number 10. Valiant's done a great job with this book in continuing kind of the Harbinger feel and the aftermath of some of the stuff that's happened with Harbinger and Tokoyo Hydra. So we'll see what happens to Livewire in this issue. Next up, we have Oblivion Song number 19. What can I say? Robert Kirkman's Oblivion Song is weird, kooky, and I love it. It's great stuff. If you haven't checked it out, you really should. We have the first trade for 30% off at Comics Conspiracy. If you want, you can order that online at comicsconspiracy.biz. Just go on there, search up the Oblivion Song Volume 1, and it should be on sale for 30% off because we have a lot of those Image first volumes for 30% off, so people can just get in and give them a try and really get into them. So if you're curious about Oblivion Song or some of the other Image titles, go over to comicsconspiracy.biz and search those up. Really cool stuff. Next up, we have The Riddler, the Year of the Villain special. I'm really curious to see, Mark Russell wrote this, so I'm curious to see what he has in store with us with Riddler and the Apex Lex. So yeah, I enjoyed the Black Mask Year of the Villain special. That one's pretty cool. And I also enjoyed the Sinestro one. So they've been okay to good so far. So nothing's completely wowed me, but we'll see. Next up is one for my son, and that's Star Wars Adventures number 25. Yes, Star Wars Adventures is up to number 25. I'm kind of scared that it will surpass in numbering the regular Star Wars book, considering the regular Star Wars book from Marvel is being canceled, I think, at issue 75, and then it's probably going to be relaunched closer to the movie, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking of not just having a Star Wars comic, regular Marvel Star Wars comic, keep going. Don't know. Maybe they're going to go back to legacy numbering. It's Marvel. Who knows what's in their brains? Half the time I think it's like a board that's spinning with darts just thrown at it. Yeah, who knows? Next up, we have The Wonder Twins at number 7. The first 6 issues were okay. I'm curious to see where they go from here because they've extended out The Wonder Twins. Let's see. I'm really curious to see if it goes 12 issues or even beyond. It's okay. It's not the best. Next up, we have Wonder Woman number 78. Cheetah is on a rampage, and we'll see if she succeeds in basically taking down Wonder Woman with Lex's help in getting the God-slaying sword. Or God-slayer, I think that's what it's called. I don't know. We'll see. And finally on my pull list is Young Justice number 8, and can they escape Earth 2 Earth 3? It's the evils of Earth 3. So can they escape it? I don't know. Bendis has done a good job with Young Justice. I've been enjoying it, so who knows. A bunch of variants this week. First up is the Batman 78, which is an amazing cover. I don't know. We ran out because we ordered them, but we had a bunch of people special order them. So we sold out of this. I don't know if we'll be able to get any more, but it's a really awesome variant cover by Clayman. Good stuff. Next up is Batman and the Outsiders number 5 variant. Why do I have this? Because I'm not the biggest fan of this cover, but it's Batman and the Outsiders. I got to get every cover because I'm a sucker for it. Next was Catwoman number 15. We have the nice Michelle Pfeiffer homage with the Batman Returns costume. Awesome cover there. Yes, this is one of the cardstock covers, so it's $4.99. DC, get rid of the cardstock covers. Just go back to the $3.99 price point. Make us all happy. Next up, Flash had a variant for $78. Regular cover, $3.99. Great stuff there. And Wonder Woman, of course, had a Jenny Friesen cover, so I decided to snag that one up as well. And Young Justice had a variant cover, which I thought was pretty fun. art. But again, cardstock, $4.99, not the best. So that's it for my pull list. I did grab something for my read list, which I haven't done read list in a while, but with the House of X and Powers of 10, I've just been grabbing those up. So the Powers of X or Powers of 10 4 is out this week. Hickman's just hitting it out of the park with the book. It's all one thing. It's not two miniseries. I still hate the fact that they did that. And in this issue, it's hilarious because you're reading. You go back to the last page where the reading order thing is. It's telling you what it is, and then right here it says 2 series that are one. Yeah, it's one series that got broken into 2 to make more money off of number 1s. So sad. And those connecting covers. I think it's also the connecting covers. So the reading orders in the back, that's kind of where you have to go with it. I know a lot of people have had trouble getting earlier issues. Second prints, third prints, fourth prints are coming out of that stuff left and right. So hopefully your shop grabbed up some of those so you can actually have a copy and read it. But it's good stuff. It's definitely good stuff. Hickman has a vision for X-Men going forward, and we're all curious to see what that is. So that's pretty much it for this week. I wanted to mention a couple things here at the end. Ryan Higgins got me a birthday present this year, and that is the Spider-Man, the Game of the Year edition. So woohoo, I get to play Spider-Man now and get caught up with everybody else who's been playing it for like almost a year. But I like Game of the Year editions because I don't like paying for extra DLC, and it's normally $40, so I'm happy with that. So yeah. Not to mention, I don't really have time to play mini games. I'm reading so much. I have so much to watch. I have all the podcast, the pull list, all this stuff going on. Not to mention the fact that I play Hearthstone. That's the game I play all the time. So yeah. Well, there is a couple things I wanted to mention. I did pick up, we were talking about Peter Tomasi earlier and kind of how he's an unsung talent. I've wanted to read The Bridge. It's like how the Roeblings connected Brooklyn to New York. It's a graphic novel, and he tweeted out about it this week, or like last week, and said it was on Amazon for like $4 and some odd cents. So I went on Amazon. It was $4 and some odd cents with Prime, no shipping, and I got it. Well, this is the second one I got because Amazon sent me the first one that had a ripped dust jacket, and I can't have that. So I'm gonna check out The Bridge by Peter Tomasi. He's great, man. You should seriously check his stuff out. Batman and Robin, Superman's the New 52, the Rebirth Superman stuff is really great. Super Sons is amazing. His Green Lantern Corps stuff when Johns was writing Green Lantern, just fantastic. He's just kind of the unsung talent that people should really be checking out. Next up is 2 books. One's a graphic novel and one is a novel. So I'll do the graphic novel first. At the high school I work at, we have Teen Read Week coming up. I'm not sure exactly when that is, but the librarian asked me to read a couple things. And so the novel that I'm reading is The Field Guide to the North American Teenager by Ben Felipe. So I'm curious to see this. It's supposed to be kind of funny. So that's my book reading. And then she wanted me to check out Spill Zone by Scott Westerfield and Alex Pulverant. So I'm going to check out Spill Zone as well. This one's the graphic novel, and I think there's more than one. But yeah, so we'll see how that one goes. I did grab a novel for myself to check out from my local library, and that is The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. So I'm just started it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's cool. I did not know it was kind of it's written by Evan Winter is from Africa, and so the characters are in his image, and so he wrote it basically because there was nothing in his image in fantasy, and I picked it up, started reading it, I was like, oh, this is cool. So I'm really curious to see how this pans out. So far, I'm enjoying it. So the reading is fairly simple. It's not as like in depth and dense and descriptive as George R.R. Martin or Tolkien, but it does kind of have the ease and feel of maybe a Pierce Anthony. It might be a little bit higher up than that, but really interesting stuff. So I'm curious to see what happens in Rage of Dragons. I'm also supposed to be a part of a book reading thing. I don't know. I've never done it, so we'll see how that goes as well. But yeah, Rage of Dragons, Evan Winters. Check it out. That's it for this week. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, what you picked up this week, what you enjoy, all that wonderful stuff. Any questions or stuff, those down in the link as well. Be nice on there. The internet's full of crap anyway. We don't want it to be crappy here on the channel. So, all that fun stuff. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 418, where we answer some listener questions. We talk a little bit about Titans Season 2, the first episode. We also, what else did we talk about? We talked about Rob Liefeld and answered some listener questions. And we had a personal question that was asked that was pretty cool to kind of think back on when we were younger. So, well, not that much younger, but yeah. So check it out. There's a link in the description below for that. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees, getting food sometimes, and of course, getting products. So thank you very much to all of our Patreon backers. It helps out immensely. You can also help me out a little more directly by going onto any Amazon, any links that'll click you to Amazon, either here on the YouTube channel or over at my website, conspiratorbrock.com. Any of that stuff, you click it, you go, you buy something through there, whether or not it's the product you bought or something else you bought down, through that link, I get a little cut, and it does help out a little bit. So thank you to everybody that does that. And also, as usual, my eBay page has stuff I'm getting rid of. So what I don't like and you might like, it's your gain. So I need to relist some stuff and get it up there because I just had a whole bunch of stuff relisted that didn't sell. So I'll be relisting those items soon. So check it out. Like I said, it helps out immensely. I do appreciate it. And I do kind of need the assistance a little bit. Moving out and into the new places put a little bit of a strain on the finances. So yeah, doing okay, but it's super, super tight. But I'm hopefully going to be able to work towards getting my teaching credentials soon. I talked with the district about getting reimbursed for that, so the cost doesn't hit me as much. So I just need to basically sign up for a program and get started. So I'm hopefully going to be doing that within the next month or so. So wish me luck on that. If you can help out anyway, that's great too. And as usual, I'll see you next week.